and welcome to City Pulse, our program brought to you by the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners. Today I'll be having a very special guest. He is known as the father of town planners in Nigeria. Right after the break, I'll be introducing my guest to you. Stay with City Pulse.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts on Facebook, Housing TV Africa, on Twitter, Housing TV Africa, Instagram, Housing TV Africa. Join the conversation and keep up with latest housing updates.
All right, I have my guest right here with me. He's, like I said earlier, the father of town planners in Nigeria. He's also the chairman of Board of Trustees of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners. He is town planner per Chief Donatus C. Obialo. Good to have you on the program today,
Thank you very much.
Yes, you are
coming here.
Thank you too.
And here you've been taking this program for the Institute of Town Planners. And we're very happy with you and we thank you.
Oh, it's a great honor and privilege to have you today on the program. All right, sir, you are the father of town planners in Nigeria. You are an elder statesman. To what extent, let's look at our country, Nigeria, to what extent has the government upheld town planning in this country?
Well, town planning as a profession is a young one. Before setting up cities and urban centers was unknown to be a professional work, unknown to be a profession, if you like, because it's only 1966, that's about 60 something years, 65 years ago, that it came to be a profession. Started by one token, per token, but raised up by Moses on the Falcon and Frank Akiemi, Andrew Maduku, and then Colenius was Aimola, with Adediran as the secretary. They started it all from the west and from the Western Secretariat, because they were all civil servants. Had meetings and set it up there, but then there were a crisis in Nigeria, and when I came back to the east, Eastern region, I was stayed in the whole region, Holland town planning. But if you think about it, we'll go backwards, you find that it's only in Britain that we had this specific profession at that time. And so we learned from there. I came back from there, from University of Durham, King's College, Newcastle upon Tyne. And I was asked to write, because of the crisis in Nigeria, to write saying that we in the Eastern region would not be able to go to Lagos for the institute formal setting up. So I wrote and sent a letter to Lagos, and after the war we regrouped and came to Benin, went to Benin, NITP. There we started it all over. It was a big deal because those from all over the country kind of united, and we set it up. So this is and it's been going on very friendly basis. I do not see since that time, I never noticed any crisis in the institute till today, because it started on a platform of friendship, a platform of love, and platform of I don't know, maybe it is because we felt that we were young and we had people who didn't like us, who didn't want us to go on. Particularly many of the old professions in the built industry, the engineers, the surveyors, and the land professionals. There are people who wouldn't like us to.
Okay, so I can see the joy, the
yes,
happiness,
the joy
of what you started as one of the founding fathers of NITP. Talking about it, I already see the joy all over you. So, what was your aim then of bringing up or starting up that institute? What was your aim of bringing it?
The aim was we had independence. We had no town planners, European town planners that were sent from Ghana, from Britain to look at our urban centers and deal with our community development, building bridges, building schools, location of government offices and so on. We had nobody, so we thought we should do that to start with. Let government know that we have a message. So that was the first. But then we were limited by number. Look at the whole West, including Lagos at the time. You had no more than about 6 or 7 of them. Whole West. East only 3. North, I don't think it's only Aimola, I know, but there were about 2 or 3. So we were very, very few. And we had to look at the whole country. We had to get the government to know about what we were doing. And our first aim was to get government recognize it as a profession. That we had by 1982. And we pressed and prepared a draft bill to set up TOPREC, Town Planners Registration Council. And that came by, I think by 88. By 88, it was under Babangida administration that we had it signed, and that was followed by 1992 by a law making it really platform under which we perform by setting up Nigerian town country planning, urban and regional planning, what do we call it, by 1992. But so we were going on. We were very progressive, and our constitution, we had to make a constitution, and when we did it, if Nigeria would work like that, it would be good. Your president is only 1 year, and he can go on and do another year.
Okay.
So before he becomes a dictator, we have thrown him out.
All right, so you've given us the history of how the whole thing came into existence.
Yes.
So far, from then till now, to what extent has the government upheld town planning, in the country? How would you assess it?
Well, first of all, yes, the law has been set up. First law by government was setting up the town country planning, the TOPREC, Town Planning Registration Council. That is our supervisory body of the profession. By that it has recognized that there is this profession. Then our own personally was to see how we get it organized so that we reach every city, particularly every capital of the 36 and Abuja capitals. This was our first aim. We have problems, and the problem is still lingering. If I say it, people will be wondering why. It's because before now we had what they call draftsmen, local government draftsmen, local government engineers and surveyors. They were not as bright as that, and they were known to be people who asked for money to get their plans. Particularly at that time, you take your building plan to local government, and they ask you to pay something. If you pay whatever you pay, they say you pay, and go and build whatever you want to build. You did not discriminate. It's just the land is yours. Whatever you like, you do on your land. So that is in the head of everybody that comes in, and you ask money, you give you. And when we started operating as trained people, professionals, they still attach us to it and think of us as all bribe-taking people. So it's still a battle we have to fight till today.
So you've not been able to overcome that battle?
We have a lot. Well, some people test some of us who are professionals. They test them, they ask for things, and they think they will get anything, but they don't. Because they were professionals.
Yeah.
Because we are professionals, because we know what we want to achieve.
Yes.
Thinking of it, My pride is the plans I have made. The way I want a city to develop, and it's going like that. I get an enormous pride. I put my head up for it. Think of it as an artist. If as an artist, when you draw something, you come and look at it again, you will find some other things that but you forget it and do another one. So we've been developing like that, and I think we've made it. Some states have modified or adapted or modified the national law. And but you see, when you go back and think about it, you see 1946, they had ordinances on how to city ordinances, 1918, 1914, 19, all that area, but they were done by Britain.
The Britain.
But when we came in, we were doing it ourselves. And they were also thinking, how can this be done by our own people? So they doubt. And even today, they still think of getting those to plan our cities from foreign. Sometimes people I went to university with, they will want them to come and do my own place. Before I was challenging in my class, then they will come and be tomato professionals, and the government likes that kind of people. They prefer them to its own citizens.
All right, so you spoke about your pride. Your pride is in when you see the plans and all of that you've made over the years. Now let's look at the role of NITP in urban development. What are the basic roles of that?
The basic role is in the law is to see a way to develop every settlement, be it rural or urban, be it agriculture, other industrial cities, be it university or education, and things like that, is to see that it's well organized, it's functional, it's economic in growth, it has capacity to develop. And above all, as I said, we're all artists and we want to see it beautiful.
Yes.
A beautiful city. Before you begin to look, has it got this or got that? Yes.
Oh, all right.
These are the men and you need to plan. If you don't plan, then you are just doing to fail. Just operating to fail. And they say it, if you fail to plan, you are planning to. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail.
All right. So if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail.
Yes.
Let me stop you at this point. Now we'll be going for a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue with the conversation.
Thank you.
So we'll take a short break now. We'll continue after this time out. Stay with City Pulse.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts on Facebook, Housing TV Africa, on Twitter, Housing TV Africa, Instagram, Housing TV Africa, Join the conversation and keep up with latest housing updates.
Welcome back. The program is City Pulse, and I've been speaking with Town Planner Chief Donatus C. Obialo, one of the founding fathers of the NITP, an elder statesman. We've been discussing on town planning and regional development. So now, sir, let's look at the recent flooding in Borno State. Our climate as it is now is not what we used to have before in the past. The climate has changed greatly. Now, the recent flood in Borno and those in other parts of other states in the country, what will be your message to those governors, especially when it comes to planning their cities?
I said, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. These cities and the governments, they have neglected, grossly neglected planning. And when plans are made, they are put under the shelf. If you do a plan and you have no way, you have not planned how to deal with the storm and storm runoff from the buildings, from whatever you construct on the land. When it rains, the flood must be controlled. It lives with us even before climate change. It has existed. So when you do a plan on land, you must take care of how runoff, how flood is controlled. Otherwise, sometimes Sunday, you see flood, nature taking its course. You don't control rivers and water runoff. You don't control it. It's nature. If you fail to control it, it will seek its own level.
Definitely.
And that is what's happening in all our cities today, because they have not taken care of that. Every governor in Nigeria is talking about flood, flooding in urban centers. Look at your regional plan. Look at it. Get planners to look at it. Get engineers to look at it. And if you do that, you will always find a way out when you are flooding. So it's something that existed but was neglected.
Something that existed but was neglected.
Neglected.
Oh, okay. So I hope they will listen to this.
And now that they are talking about it, let them not neglect it anymore.
Okay. That's good. That's a good advice to them. Now let's, on a lighter mood, your secretariat is having a new look right now. How did you get to this level?
Yes. When we were in Lagos as capital, we dealt with this. We had a secretariat. We were able to secure land, courtesy of past president, late Frank Akiemi. We got land from Lagos government, and we had some friends who built the place, and we call it Frank Akiemi building. We got it by those who company that built it, used it, gave us only a portion, space in the building, and then after some years they gave us all the property. That's how we started. Then when it was Abuja, the capital, we were able to secure where we are now in Opera way, and the street is called. When we started to build something on the place, and we thank the federal government that was able to give us that land. But you see, the poor, we can say we were poor. We were only dealing with our annual dues. And our annual dues, we can only go a stage. So we were able to knock out a place where we've operated from. And after many attempts, even some companies we got could not continue, and we had to pay to get rid of the contract. And now we are happy. We've now got a company that wants to rebuild it, build on the site, remove the one that has been building, the one that we built earlier, remove the foundation, and now wants to develop it. And we are happy with the company. We are happy with this friend who has helped us to get his friends who could help us to start the building. If this is done, we're happy about it. And if this is done, at that time, I will say that we have come to...
Definitely, it will be done, and I must say congratulations in advance, because we know it will surely be done.
Yes.
So on a final note, let's leave town planning now. What would be, as an elder statesman, what would be your advice to the present administrations on better ways to handle issues concerning the country?
Which administration? Our town planning administration?
No, the present, the government. The government, yes.
Well, I would say that by setting up the Urban and Regional Planning Law of 1992, government has started it fine. But my advice is that government should look at it, that law, and see that it's implemented. Not only at federal level, but all state levels. Many states have modified, and many other states are dragging their feet. And if you look at it, those states that are dragging their feet are the people complaining about floods now. So we need to do something about it. No, it's not only that. We want to get more planners. At my time, I had to go to Calabar. I had to go to Port Harcourt from Enugu to go up to Abakaliki, from Enugu, Onitsha, all that. What was my going to see the growth of the city, even though at small levels? Only me, covering all those areas. So we started going to universities to plead with them to start departments of town planning, because we wanted members, many members, so that in each city you get a sufficient number of people to handle town planners, number of town planners to handle the the problems of each city. So the institute has grown, still growing. If you look at the statistics, you will be surprised, because surprised in the sense that there are still very few. We want them to, we want the governments to support growth of urban, town planning departments in the universities, so that we get more and more of planners to take care of the cities. And they're all growing. The population is always growing. We need where we live, whether you like it or not.
Definitely.
So there must be planners to take care of them. And so when I'm talking about what government will do, not only the plan itself, but getting the people to do the plan.
All right. So thank you so very much, sir, for your time on this program. We really appreciate you and appreciate all the effort and all the years you've put into the profession. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
All right. The program is Pause, and my guest has been Town Planner Chief Donato C. Obialo. We'll see you next time on this program with another informative edition of City Pulse. See you soon.